maybe making decisions that weren't the correct decisions to make. So we knew that they all needed the same answers. So again, as we collaborate, we called together our businesses and we said, let's do something now in February, way before we have any opportunity of having smoke, and let's create something on a grassroots level, working with our university, the festival, the YMCA, our schools, etc. And so we created a workshop that we put on in February, which ended up being one of the snowiest days of the year. And yet we had a packed house. We had about 60 people attend, all of those organizations that I mentioned, and a number of businesses who spent a half a day in a hands-on business resiliency workshop learning how to mitigate their operations for potential smoke. And so we created this, and you have one in front of you, Smoke Preparedness Workbook. And basically the idea was to assess your current state, look at your building, look at your physical plant, and find out what kind of filtration system you have. And everybody thought they had the right one. Sure enough, not necessarily was that true, because we didn't know what kind of filters we should have. So in our research, we found the proper kind of filters that would really filter out the smoke at the level that would be considered healthy to be indoors. We, as Alison mentioned, did a tremendous amount of research around the right kind of filters that could be utilized not only on your system but portable air cleaners. All sorts of data that took many months of investigation to find out, but then we created this hands-on guide so that people could walk through their own business and figure out within their own budget and their time constraint, the size of their facility, what they could actually implement. We encouraged them to look at their workforce, their employees. Were there employees who maybe had health challenges? And if so, what would happen again should there be that level of smoke? Could they come to work? Could they work remotely? What kind of customers do they have? What kind of plans would they need to have in place to inform their customers so they could continue to do business? What would that look like? And then what happens when we are in a condition of smoke? How do you then communicate with all those population groups? So it was a basic plan, really simple actually, that took quite a lot of time to put together and to think through so that people could implement it for their own business. It ended up being a great workshop of sharing and understanding that we're all in this together. This is not a blame game. We're not saying one business was better than another. We were really there to share ideas. We also, through our relationship with the city and the fire adapted communities and the Nature Conservancy helped fund through a perfect grant the work that we did in the workshop. We created 2 short videos that less than 2 minutes, so we're going to show you in a moment, that talked about, we interviewed a pulmonologist from Asante so that she could talk about the impacts of smoke on a person's health. And then we also created a video on how to wear a mask. We all thought we knew, and we didn't, the proper way to wear a mask. And so that information we created. During the workshop, we had great information on, again, equipment, as well as why we were in the state in the first place and what the community could do to support the efforts of forest restoration. We had representatives from Jackson County Public Health and the Oregon Health Authority who also spoke. And probably we regularly do workshops and conferences. We do monthly business resiliency workshops for our members. And I would say this is one of the most effective we've ever done, because people felt that they didn't have resources and now they do. And they can rely on the community to help them. So we created a special web page through the Chamber and through Ashland Fire and Rescue with links back and forth to each other, where we not only have the videos that will will show you, but we also took the workshop video, or the workshop itself, and created 2 additional videos from that workshop, put that on the website, and populated it with a number of articles that are quite helpful about how other communities, particularly in Canada, have dealt with smoke. We found there really aren't a lot of good examples in the United States.